Hey guys, welcome to another episode of what's rapidly becoming one of my favorite shows, even though we only do 3 of them, so to say it's one of my favorites is...
We've done 5.
Well, what I mean is we only do 3 shows.
Oh.
So it's definitely in my top 3 of shows that we do. Pipe Dummies, brought to you by cigarfederation.com. Not broadcast around the world in the Armed Forces Radio Network. That would be...
our favorite show.
That would be our favorite show, Cigar Chat. And yeah, they've got a whole new app and everything going for AFRN, so everybody's got to check that out. But we'll talk about that on another show. But welcome to Pipe Dummies. Robbie Raz here with you, as always. 2 shows a week, just keeping it real over here in California. But it was about 80 degrees today, Logan. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really, it was 82 here when we were driving Callaway to the chickenpox scare dose.
Oh, yeah, the great chickenpox scare of 2015. Tell us about it.
Dude, first of all, did you know that they actually make a chickenpox vaccine now? I think you know because I told you this. But
you brought this to my attention recently. I don't have children, and I believe that I had chickenpox as a young child, so I don't know. But yeah. So it's when you said that that it doesn't really exist in nature anymore. Like
not really.
We don't really get it in the United States.
No.
I thought you were talking about like a different kind of pox, like small, because that's.
Oh yeah, no.
The smallpox aren't around anymore. That's
no, they're not.
So
those are a little more serious too. But yeah, no. I mean, pretty much. I mean, when I was growing up, which wasn't that long ago. I'm only 31, but everyone had chickenpox, right? Like you got it. You were out of school for a week, and it was just that's the way it was. But now, I mean, I think it was 95 or 96. They released this. Vaccine, and you give it when you're 1 year old, and it knocks out, rubella, mumps, all that shit. But chickenpox to do it. So pretty much, like, I think my doctor said, like, 90% of children don't even get it anymore, and, like, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't even know this, but, I told you the whole carrier monkey story, but, I mean, so she was real fussy today in the morning, and then, we took her to daycare. Daycare's like, your daughter's basically being a big pain in the ass. Come pick her up, which that sucks. Let me tell you about daycare. Is the second they get a fever, they suspect anything, they just call you and just say, oh, yeah, your baby. They called Allie and said, your baby's in the office. Come and get her. And Allie's like, oh, my God, she's like in the corner by herself crying. So Allie's probably going like 1,000 miles an hour there, And I know, seriously, exactly. I could just see Allie breaking every traffic law to get there. And she gets there. Oh, no, she's in the fucking jumpy. Like, in the classroom, just having a ball. But, yeah, she had some bumps. We thought she had chicken pox. Come to find out, this is the other thing that drives me nuts, is that she had an ear infection. So she has another ear infection, or I guess that one never went away. We gave her amoxicillin for 10 days, and, like, it's worse. Like, and I was talking to Rob before the show. I was like, I mean, in this modern day of scientific era, of modern medicine that we have, how is it possible, unless the wrong medicine is given, or maybe the wrong dosage, that you can actually get worse by taking a medicine that's supposed to help you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That would fall under the category of cray-cray.
Dude, it'd fall under the category of, baby, I got your medicine, don't you worry. It's great flavor. Tastes like the purple drink. Sorry.
I think we're going to have to have a portion of the show where you sing every week. Because you guys don't know this, but when Logan and I hop on the pregame show here about a half hour, 45 minutes.
It just depends.
Before the show starts, depending on what the schedules are looking like. And he always sings. And it's usually some early 2000, like either some sort of hip-hop or R&B type situation like you were just singing just now.
Or, yeah, some alternative, And what happens is, well, it's true.
Or Meatloaf.
Or Meatloaf. I would do anything for love. I use that as a good reference because it's true. But a lot of it is, since we've had Callaway, like she's kind of a weird baby. It's really weird. I mean, you think most babies would like, I don't know. But I just start singing like tonight. She wouldn't take your medicine. And I was like, baby, I got your medicine. Don't you worry. Tastes like grape. Smells like the purple drink in your belly. It ain't rank. And I just like sing like stupid songs, or like when she's in her jump, I'll be like, you riding dirty, catch me riding dirty, you know, and just that kind of stupid stuff, and she loves it.
That is some epic parenting.
So I'm waiting for her to be like, oh, like, another one is like, I don't want no scrubs. Scrub-headed guy can't get no love from me. Sitting on his mama's right in his stroller, trying to holler at me. And I'm just waiting for her to go into daycare and start singing that shit. And we're totally getting banned from the daycare.
Yeah, and you know, social services shows up.
Probably.
And unfortunately, I'm going to be called to testify. And
no, it's on air. It's documented.
So let's just move on. So we're doing the early morning pipe comparison today. For those of you who don't know, Dunhill early morning pipe it's a staple pipe tobacco. It's
a classic.
We'll talk more about it as the show goes on. But pipesandscigars.com has done a match brand that I think they do it with a few different blends, and one of the main blends that they do it's called Match Early Morning Pipe, and just looking at the two tobaccos, and I'm going to try to show this to everybody. This is, and it doesn't really translate, but this is the Dunhill version. It's kind of like a dark brown, and there's some darker, and I guess that's the Latakia that's in there. That's the darker stuff.
It is.
When you look at this is and it really doesn't translate, but there is a cut of tobacco in here that is significantly lighter in color than the other, and it seems to have a lot more of the Latakia, of the dark stuff in there. So I'm curious. I've smoked, I don't know, 5 or 6 bowls of the early morning pipe. It's an English blend. I really like it. It's one of the. It's almost like an English blend with training wheels, right? It's not gonna overpower you or anything. But the more I smoke it, the more I do enjoy it. And so we're gonna get into more of that as the show goes on. I'm gonna pack my bowl of the match here.
Well, I want to talk about these match series tobaccos, right? Okay. So, since we're all pipe dummies, I want to relate it to something we all know, which is cigars. And I mean, really, match series through pipes and cigars is really no different than on Cigars International, owned by the same company. So probably a reason for the match pipes tobacco. But it's really a series of pipe tobacco that, much like, the imitation Partagas and all that crap that, that CI sells, that tries to imitate this, and it comes in at a lower price, and it's supposed to be more of a value. And typically...
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have a perfect example of that. And this cigar came out when I started smoking cigars, the Nica Libre. Do you remember that? And they were like, oh, if you like Padron, you'll love the Nica Libre. So in a way, that was kind of like, hey, here's a cheap version of the Padron. But that was just what popped into my head. But go ahead.
That's actually a really, really good example. But the thing I find interesting is, right, I mean, Rob, first of all, called it out. I mean, the tobacco used, in both blends are, Latakia Oriental Virginias. It's a pretty classic English blend. But a couple of things I find curious is that first, when you're looking at, the match early morning, and then you're looking at the Dunhill early morning, like, a couple of things stand out for me. The first one is that when you look at the product page and you look at strength, like, they have match early morning is mild, but then the Dunhill early morning is mild to medium. So, I mean, you would think if it was the same tobacco, it would get the same rating. So I find that kind of strange. The other thing that I find really strange, you'd think the match series, right, would be like, I don't know, say 30% off, right? So it would be like, oh, man, like I'm broke as a joke. Like I can't get my, my tin of Macanudos, But you look, this is the part that really freaks me out, is if you get you get 1 ounce of bulk and the official Dunhill early morning pipe, it is $3.69. But you get 1 to 3 ounces in the match early morning, it's $3.99.
So it's more expensive.
So it's more expensive all the way down, pretty much all the way down the chain. The part where it actually passes it is if you actually buy like 80 ounces of the crap, which I don't know why you would ever do that. But if you buy 80 plus ounces, you can save a whole, I don't know, you basically save 20 cents an ounce at that point, which, I mean, that's when you have a problem.
But you're talking about 80 ounces.
I mean, 80 ounces is a nut. You're talking like $200 just on this pipe tobacco.
That's like the size of a small child, isn't it? Like, what's the conversion rate there?
I don't know. Well, 16 pounds in an ounce, and then 15 times, so that's what? That'd be 5 pounds. Yeah, like 5 pounds. Pretty close. I mean, dude, that's like a brick.
That's beyond the legal limit.
I mean, that's epic. I mean, you'd have to go buy a crate of mason jars just to stow that crap away.
That's possession. That's possession with intent to distribute.
Oh, absolutely, no joke. But I don't understand it because, like, I could understand, like, just the logic behind it. Is I could understand, like, if you made it cheaper because you would convert people, right? But then at the same time, like, I can understand if, like, okay, if it was a really popular pipe tobacco, like some of the esoterica stuff, like the Margate and Stonehaven, and you make a knockoff and it's the same price, but, like, it's more readily available, okay, I can see that. But I've never once seen Dunhill Early Morning Pipe, which is like a staple pipe tobacco that probably everyone has. I don't get the logic. I don't get the logic.
Yeah, it's not like it's the Early Morning Pipe is hard to find.
No.
You can find it everywhere. It's readily available. It's readily available in tins. It's readily available in bulk.
Hell, the Sig Fed store is about to sell it. I mean, that's how tells you how easy you can get it.
Yeah, I think the difference is if you're talking about, but this could be said about any pipe tobaccos. If you get a tin or if you get bulk, the prices are different.
That's true.
But beyond that, like I was looking and I was trying to come up with the same thing and doing a little bit of research beforehand. I had all the same questions, so I'm going to fire this up so you can keep talking. Let's talk about, we each did pipe tobacco reviews this week on the site. Let's talk about those.
Okay, what I want to do, kill some time. So this week, I've been on a tear with my reviews because I am so on top of my reviews. But this week I actually reviewed the Drew Estate meat pie, and we actually had our first show was with Drew Estate. Now that I think about it,
yeah.
But with the meat pie, it's probably other than plum pudding, Frogmorton, and Ashton's Artisan's Blend, and Early Morning Pipe. It's probably the pipe tobacco I've smoked the most. It's definitely the first English blend I ever smoked. And I reviewed it this week. I actually got a couple tins from the Sig Fed store back in August, and they've been resting until now in the tin. And I just opened them up. And honestly, it is a meat pie is something I think, Rob, that you could actually get behind. I mean, we won't spoil it on the Early Morning Pipe, but I think it's kind of a step up from that. I mean, the tin note's amazing. Smells like a burning campfire. I mean, the Latakia really comes through. I mean, it's a mild, maybe a mild plus. And the thing I really liked about it is the room note, or like almost a lot of English I think have like almost like an incensey kind of, really strong, like kind of almost intolerable room note. This was actually really nice. Like it was sweet, had a little bit of leather to it. It was actually a very nice room note. And just the tobacco, I mean, I can't say enough about meat pie and how consistent it is. Like from bowl to bowl, from tin to tin, it's never been wet. It always smokes like a dream all the way through. And I said in my review, and it's probably too early for me to actually make comparisons in my pipe tobacco smoking career, but it actually is very similar to the Lane Crown Achievement, like in terms of flavors. I mean, the difference is that Lane Crown Achievement uses Perique, and I think the meat pie is a little bit stronger, but I think it definitely is a very classic English taste in flavors, but it's not so heavy in the nicotine on something like Nightcap that was just going to put you under if you can't handle that level of nicotine. So I would say, I mean, we're talking about Early Morning Pipe. I would put in terms of kind of the scale, Early Morning Pipe is, I think, quite a bit milder than meat pie. Then you've got kind of meat pie, which is, for me, it's mild, but probably more in the medium range for most people. And then you've got, like a Nightcap that's on the far end that's really, really, really strong and really, really heavy body and really, really overwhelming nicotine-wise. So, yep.
No, that's, yeah, I actually haven't, when we have talked about this, I haven't smoked the meat pie yet. I've got it, and you can, like you said, the tin note is pretty epic. I haven't even opened the tin, and I can smell it.
It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty epic as far as that's concerned, which is part of the reason why I haven't smoked it. I reviewed the another Drew Estate blend, the Central Park Stroll. I stuck with the aromatics. I mean, I think most of my reviews are probably going to be aromatics for the next, I don't know, few months probably, because that's the stuff that I've smoked the most of. Similar to you, I mean, when we were at IPCPR, they gave us some sample tins, and I've picked up a couple of additional tins of the Central Park Shoal because I really do enjoy it. It's a basic aromatic. It's got some chocolate casing on there, some chocolate flavoring, some vanilla flavoring in there, a little bit of caramel type note in there, and a rum style flavor that you get in a lot of aromatics as well. I like to go with that. I've got that. We're spoiled. We got the suge. I go in that secondary chamber in there, and I put the heirloom cherry, and it really does. I mean, I really do taste it, whether I really do or not. It enhances the experience for me, so I don't care if I really taste it or not. I enjoy it more when I do that. And it really just tastes like a melted chocolate sundae. It's not overpoweringly sweet, but there's a lot of flavor there. I know this is one of the few aromatics that you actually
I do like it
that you will smoke. So again, we still don't have our rating system yet, which I think is okay, but it would be one of the aromatics that I like the most, right up there with the Autumn Evening, which was my first pipe review. I like both of those a lot. We're smoking a different animal today. Just before the show, I was smoking a bowl of the Dunhill Early Morning Pipe, and I really do like it. It's subtle. There's a tiny little bit of sweetness in there. The Latakia, and depending on where you look, some people say there's Latakia and some people say there isn't. I can taste it in there because I know that it's got that soury kind of flavor, but it's so subtle that it doesn't really impact the flavor for me. So I enjoy that. It's a really nice. It's just a nice blend. I don't know how else to say it. It is the kind of thing. When you open up the bag, it smells strong, and you think, man, early morning. Wow, they're crazy. If you're going to smoke this early in the morning, it smells like it would just blow your palate out. But when you taste it, it doesn't. Much smoother than you think it's going to be.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would agree with you, man. Like, it's I think it's a good pipe tobacco. Like, I mean, for me, it's something I could definitely smoke in the mornings, but I don't know about anyone else, but if I'm going to smoke in the mornings, which I do most mornings, it's kind of hard for me to smoke a pipe in the mornings. Have you smoked a pipe like real early, like if you would smoke like a Connecticut or something? Have you tried to smoke a pipe
in the morning?
Like okay, let's say you're fishing or something, and you wake up and it's like 7 in the morning. You have coffee, you'd have a cigar, but you switch it out for a pipe.
I haven't, and here's why. And you brought it up. If I'm smoking in the morning, which I don't do too often.
No.
But if I am, I want something that I can pair with a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't paired a pipe tobacco with anything yet.
I haven't either, other than like water and tea.
Yeah, I drink water when I smoke anything, but if I'm going to smoke a pipe in the morning, I just don't know how that would work. Because the flavors that I get from just about any pipe tobacco that I smoked, unless it's something that's really sweet, it's got a lot of chocolate in there, then maybe I would pair a coffee with it because the sweet from the tobacco, the bitterness from the coffee would kind of offset each other. I feel like the coffee that I drink, and the coffee I've been drinking lately is, and I'm not a Starbucks guy, but we've got a Keurig, and I picked up a box of the Holiday Blend, the 2014 Holiday Blend from Starbucks, and I freaking love it. And I found it on Keurig's website. And you can get like 20% off, and I can get like 18 of them for it's like $12 or something. And I just love it, dude. I bought like 4 or 5 boxes of it just because when it's gone, it's probably gone forever. And
because you can.
Yeah, and I like it, and it's really good. So, but I think that if we're talking about this early morning, I think that coffee would just completely overrun it. But
and the other thing, I mean, I agree with you. I haven't tried to pair anything, but like normally when I would smoke a cigar that early in the morning, it might be like, I had to take Allie to work, and it's like, literally, I goes to work at the ass crack of fucking dawn, man. Like, it's good she gets off around 4, but fuck, man, taking her to work, like, days we go out of town and stuff, so I'll smoke a cigar on the way home, because she works a decent ways away from our house, and, dude, I haven't tried because, like, I really feel like it would be very difficult when you're that groggy in the morning. Smoking a cigar is no problem. You cut it and you smoke. But like a pipe, to put in the effort,
it's a bit more hands-on.
It's going to be a little more handsy, and I feel like it might be kind of tough and not nearly as enjoyable. But I fully plan on doing it this weekend.
Unless you're smoking a pipe that you're clenching. like Dustin has that cob that he keeps in his car that just looks like it just like a lion got a hold of it and just gnawed the hell out of it. I mean, if you're doing something like that, but if you're smoking, like, I'm not gonna clench with this while I'm driving. That's just bad. It's bad form. It's gonna drop. The bowl is gonna fall out. It's gonna burn my crotch. I'm gonna look down. I'm gonna hit a kid or something. Like, that to me is bad. I don't smoke while I'm driving at all, but if I were, I mean, smoking a cigar while you're driving is not a big deal.
No problem.
Not a big deal.
But yeah, no big deal. But so I'm gonna try it maybe this weekend. But let me talk about back to match here for a second. So I sent you, Rob. I tried to send you healthy helpings of both. And I don't know if I accomplished my goal or not, but I just want to tell you about this 10 note. And I'm not saying I have the best sniffer or palate on the face of the earth, because I definitely don't. But a couple of things have happened. Is either, A, my palate really sucks and my nose is all fucked up. That's A. 2 is that when I actually put these cigars, or put the pipe tobacco in the tins, I have improperly labeled it. Or pipe and cigars is just full of shit. It's either A, B, or C. I don't really know. Because when I smell the early morning pipe, I mean, you got a very light, I mean, you got the Latakia, it's light. It almost kind of smells like a pepper-based rub that you would rub on like a barbecue brisket, like when you're barbecuing brisket. It's kind of got that smell, but it's not nearly as strong as, like, say, the Drew Estate or Frog Morton or anything like that. But it's got, you know, a nice flavor to it. I really enjoy it. Now, first of all, I look at the early morning pipe. It's definitely a lot wetter. That's for sure. Rob, the yellows, I mean, I don't know if I can get this on camera here. Let me see if I can try to get a piece. And the yellows are Virginias, by the way.
I can confirm that it is a little bit wetter. I'm having a harder time being
right.
Than
so, I don't know. You probably can't see that, but I mean, this yellow in the early morning pipe or the match version, I mean, it's like a bright yellow Virginia. Like this other stuff, I don't know if it's a little dark. I mean, it's darker, but I don't know if it was pressed or what the deal was. But I look at this and it's kind of goopy. Like it's kind of like almost like an aromatic, and I smell it. And it smells like there's some sort of casing used on it. Like, I mean, it's almost kind of like a light rum, like a rum type casing. I don't smell any Latakia at all. Like I'm trying to. I mean, I got my nose up in. I just sucked pipe tobacco up my nose in case you cared or wondered.
I don't, but
dude, it doesn't smell anything like it. Did you get that, Rob, or am I smoking drugs?
To me, well, I'm smoking this now, so trying to sniff it isn't going to help. That was the first thing I did when I cracked them open. I'll admit, I had smoked the early morning pipe, the Dunhill, before, and I think I've smoked it on a show before. They look different when not the tin note, because I don't have them come out of a tin; they're coming out of a bag. They smelled similar enough to me. I didn't expect them to smell exactly the same. I will say that the match did smell a bit sweeter, like you were saying. But I can definitely, I'm sensitive to the Latakia, and I could definitely smell it.
Okay.
So that's for sure. I will say that because I'm smoking the match now, they taste kind of similar.
Really?
I'm not sure which one I like better. I think I like the Dunhill a little bit better because it actually tasted a little bit sweeter. There was that mild sweetness in there, and I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know
about the Dunhill or the match.
I don't know how I would. Your camera is just something crazy. I don't know how I would.
Woo!
I don't know how I would classify it, but it definitely had a sweeter note to it that I did enjoy. Like it's very, very mild sweetness. But they're both really mild tobaccos. Neither of them burns exceptionally hot. I would say maybe the Dunhill burned a little bit hotter.
Really? Than the match?
Yeah. But maybe that was because I was smoking it more than talking about it.
Dude, it's an aromatic.
You think that the match has a casing on it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely does not taste. And I have not smoked any match to date. I will claim that. But I have smoked copious amounts of the early morning pipe. It's definitely sweeter. I mean, like, but it kind of has that, you know, like on those aromatics, like that. I would say sickly sweet, but you probably wouldn't say that. But that like sweet tinge to it. You know what I mean? Where it's not like flavor; it's just kind of sweetness. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel that there's some sort of casing on it, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I don't know that I would agree with that completely, but again, I don't know enough to argue one way or the other, I guess. I do want to jump in real quick, well, because you just fired up the match. We're both smoking it. Based on the look on your face, you have a very specific opinion as to which one you like better.
Yeah.
We got a couple of questions here. This one's from Harley Holmes. Always good about asking a question. He says, is there an afternoon and evening version of the early morning pipe? And to answer your question, I would say yes.
Sort of.
There is an early morning pipe. There is, all by Dunhill. There is a Dunhill nightcap. And the one that would fall kind of in the middle, I believe, would be like that My Mixture.
Yeah, 865. It's pretty close.
So those are kind of like the big three for them, right?
Yeah, I mean they've got a bunch of other ones that are.
Yeah.
I mean when you say Dunhill pipe tobacco, absolutely. I mean it's early morning pipe, My Mixture, 965, and then nightcap. But they also make some other good ones that are fairly highly ranked. I mean just off the top of my head, they make obviously those three. Then they make the I always screw this name up, but it's called Elizabethan. How do you say that? Yeah, whatever. That mixture, which is fairly highly ranked. I mean, they do the London mixture, which is fairly highly ranked. Their actual Navy Flakes are actually ranked really high. The Dunhill Flake in general is ranked really high. Aperitif is ranked really high. So they actually make their Ultra Milds actually ranked pretty high. And this is all, for those that don't know, the tobaccoreviews.com. But their Durbar is ranked pretty high. So they make actually pretty decent pipe tobacco, at least according to the masses. But, those are the big three. If you have a bucket list and you're like, hey, I need to smoke big name pipe tobacco, those would be the three that you would definitely want to smoke.
One thing I just pulled up here on Pipes and Cigars, they have a King of the Dunhill sampler, and it is a tin of My Mixture 965, a tin of Nightcap, a tin of Elizabethan Mixture, and a tin of the London Mixture. It doesn't have the early morning pipe in there. But, yeah, those are kind of the main ones. And the way that I've read it and understood it is if you wanted to smoke 3 bowls a day, you go with the early morning, My Mixture, and the Nightcap are kind of 3 main English morning. English, lovely. Those are kind of the main 3. The afternoon, the morning, afternoon, and evening, I guess, would be the way to put it. Is there one called the afternoon pipe? No, there isn't one called. The Nightcap, I guess, is the closest thing to being called, the night pipe. So I don't know if that answers the question completely, but
no, dude, this tastes like shit. I mean, like, for real, it doesn't even taste like it. I mean, I've narrowed it down to it's either I tinned it wrong when I was putting it away, which I don't think so, because you should see this. I mean, I've got copious amounts of stickers and spreadsheets going on this shit. There is no way.
You are quite organized.
Well, it is. It's, when it comes to this kind of shit that I'm like hobbies about, I'm organized up the ass. But then when it's things like, like real work, like my inbox. Yeah. Well, my inbox is actually pretty good, but it's just like some things I just, like the house, if Allie wasn't around, I'd live in a sty.
No, that's, I hear you. You are definitely organized when it comes to it. For me, smoking these two, and I assume that we're smoking the same thing because I got it from you.
Unless I made 2 errors. I
don't notice a huge difference between the two. I'm not smoking this match on a fresh palate, so there's that.
Okay.
But I literally just finished the Dunhill, and now I'm firing this up. I think this almost, it tastes a bit smokier. If that makes sense.
Which one?
The match.
Okay.
But beyond that, I don't taste a huge difference. But you've smoked more of the Dunhill early morning pipe than I have. But I think if someone packed me a bowl of it and said, "Is this Dunhill early morning pipe or no?" I mean, I think I could say whether it is or not. I've smoked it enough. I mean, for me, I know this is kind of cutting our whole topic pretty short. I'm just going to buy the Dunhill. Because why mess around?
Yeah, like, why would you spend more money for shittier product? In my humble opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, you know, and I can almost taste more Latakia in here too, on the Retro Hail. That's really where I get that flavor of the Latakia, is on the Retro for sure. Doesn't really hit me on the tongue. Definitely hits me on the Retro Hail.
It's definitely not. I mean, I'm not lying. Like, in the early morning pipe, there is definitely a sweetness. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, I will agree with you 100%. But on the match version of it, the sweetness was not. The sweetness is like the dominant flavor, or the dominant profile for sure. This, I mean, there's definitely more of that Latakia on the Retro, and definitely other flavors in front of the sweetness. The sweetness doesn't lead.
Yeah, I you know, I think you've got a point there with the level of sweetness, because I'm still tasting that, and it's still stronger than the sweetness that was in the Dunhill. But I still think I prefer the Dunhill more. And actually, we've got a comment here. This one's from CPBIW83, and it's not really a question. It seems like it's more of a comment. He says, previously all Dunhill tobaccos were produced by Murray's. When Murray's went out of business in 2005, a lot of B&Ms created their own match blends. So maybe this is why this match blend came up. I don't know when they started making this match blend on pipes and cigars.
I don't know.
And he says production began again when Dunhill was purchased by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So maybe that's the reason that it exists. I don't know.
But I mean,
it's a valid point. If that's, I don't know if that's true or not. I assume it is. But thanks for the comment there.
I did not know that.
CPBIW Kipquib 83.
Is it Kip Fisher?
No, it's
from the dead.
DP. No, it's definitely not Kip. Oh, but you'd like him though. His profile photo is of Frog Morton. It looks like.
Dude, Frog Morton legit.
So you and he have a lot to talk about. It is, his name is actually, it doesn't say his real name. CPBIW83. So appreciate that comment there. I'm not. I'm definitely a pipe dummy, so I don't know. I didn't even know that all that happened. But it seems like Scandinavian Tobacco owns everything.
Dude, they own everything.
Everything.
So basically, let me just read this really quick. The match pipe tobacco, this is on pipe cigars. If your beloved pipe tobacco is hard to find or has gone the way of the dinosaur, not all is lost. These bulk alternatives offer comparable substitute for many of the brands at low bulk prices. Here at Pipe Cigars, we understand the frustrations of searching for these long-lost blends and of compatibilist tobaccos that get as close to original pipe tobacco as you're going to find. Bring back memories of years gone by and find a favorite everyday tobacco blend. So I guess that kind of makes sense, you know. But like a lot of these I haven't heard of, but like they have the Elizabeth Beethan mixture, which is one. They have the Edgewood Ready Rub Flake, which I know you can still get. You know, early morning pipe. You know, let's see what other ones. They have like nightcap match, which in my mixture. So yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. Maybe that's what. But they have match like Prince Albert, like, which, I mean, they've got that coming out their ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It seems like it's an interesting concept of, well, hey, this company went out of business, they're not making it anymore, so we'll make something that's similar. I like the idea, and maybe they just figured, screw it, we're making more money when we sell this, so let's make fake blends of everything.
Probably, well, because they're producing it themselves, so yeah, probably right. They are making more profit on it, that's for sure.
Cut out the middleman, so there you go.
There's your answer, Johnny.
I mean, I'm not mad at the match blend by any means.
I ain't mad at you.
And I ain't mad at you. We're gonna start doing some Tupac too now. I prefer the Dunhill a little bit, and maybe it's placebo because it's Dunhill, and I would rather buy that than something else. But ultimately, who cares? Because you can't tell what I'm smoking when I'm smoking my pipe. But I don't know. There was something about it. Maybe it was the balance was a little bit better. I don't know. It was just it felt a little bit smoother. That's what it is. It was a bit smoother. This match is just a bit more harsh to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I would agree with that. I mean, but I mean, it's impossible, right? Like, unless you know and go to the exact. I'm not saying our palates are so good that we're going to be able to tell you what farm it grew on and all this. If the tobacco was pointing west towards the sun and all this shit, I can't tell you that. But unless they have the blend, they can get it close. But you're never going to get anything that's perfect. I mean, tobacco changes year to year, crop to crop, field to field, right? So, but I mean, I still think it is a far enough departure where if you were to put both of them in front of me and have me smoke them, I think blind, I think I could tell that they were not the same blend.
Okay, I would agree. I think I could do that too. So, would your argument be that it's a decent tobacco on its own? Why not just call it something else?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's a good argument. I mean, it's a good point. Like, I mean, I can understand, the comment that we got. Like, you're right. If I would have had, I mean, if they would have been, and I don't know how long they've been making it. I have no way to validate that. But, like, let's say there was a period where they weren't making the nightcap, then yeah, I mean, make it. It's going to be close. People have no choice but to smoke it because they can't get the real thing. But when the real thing comes, unless people are just buying the match because they're so used to it because it's been gone for a while or whatever, like, I think it's a better pipe tobacco where you could probably just blend it on your, let it stand alone. But I have a feeling there's probably not too many pipe smokers out there, maybe there is, that are buying both and comparing.
That's true. Here's another thing. This one's going to just blow your mind.
Is it totally going to be like gray matter all over the fucking wall?
So
tell me.
So we had the Dunhill early morning pipe that was made by Murray's, right?
Okay.
Murray's goes out of business in 2005.
Right.
Then this match stuff shows up. And then Scandinavian Scandinavian Tobacco. We're not buying couches. Scandinavian Tobacco comes in and buys Dunhill and starts making the early morning pipe again. Maybe this match tastes more like the original early morning pipe than the new Dunhill one does.
Dude.
Boom.
Blew my mind.
Boom.
Now what we got to do is track down some original Dunhill pre-2005 or 6.
For science.
For fucking science. Now who's paying for that? You or me?
Not it.
Not it. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, if anybody's out there and it does have some original, it'd be interesting.
It definitely would be interesting. So I'd be curious to see if that's something we could ever figure out. Probably not. And are we just kind of bullshitting just to bullshit? Yeah, probably.
That's what you do with pipes, though.
Yeah. A couple more questions here. Another one. This one's from the Cigar Surgeon.
Hello, John.
He says, what are the big differences you can tell between a cheaper pipe and something with more luxury?
Let me just show you. Oh, you go ahead, Rob.
We talked about this before. I don't really tell much of a difference in the performance of the tobacco. In the performance of the pipe, I'll tell you this. In the Suge pipe, and I smoke aromatics out of that, you smoke the aromatics, you get the gurgle. That's when it's too hot, you get a lot of moisture at the bottom. If you pack the Suge pipe correctly, pack the top bowl, you put something in that bottom chamber, you don't get the gurgle.
You don't.
So
even Logan, fast smoking Logan, doesn't get a gurgle.
So there's that. I have a Peterson system that I smoke. I occasionally get the gurgle in that if I'm smoking too fast. In these Cobbets, I've mainly been smoking English and Virginia blends, so I don't get the gurgle with those at all. More of a product of the tobacco than the pipe, but I'm not sure. So those are the differences that I've noticed. I mean, I almost feel more comfortable smoking out of this Cobbet that cost me $15 because I'm not worried if I burn the rim. I'm not worried about breaking it. I'm just comfortable with it. Something like a Suge that's going to put you back $250. Maybe you're being a little more careful with it. I'm reaching here, but that's just me. I don't know. Logan, you have any input on that?
Oh man, you reviewed the Koopa Chabra. I was just looking at your picture, man. It looks really fucking good, man.
Thank you. That review is going to go up on Monday.
Okay. Limited edition Koopa motherfucking Chabra. All right, anyways. Koopa Cabras. I mean, aesthetically, I can tell a difference. Like, and I'll just show you here. Is that let's just do these two. Is like on because I've got I did the whole pipes and cigars 3 pipes for $60, and then I bought some other just little throwaways because I didn't want to like obviously fuck up a good pipe, right? But like I mean, you look at these like they're all pretty much similar shapes. You're not going to get any like fun designs on the outside. You'll have your straight, you'll have your bent, you'll have that, and it's pretty much what you get. I mean, you look inside. I mean, it doesn't even really look like briar, honestly. Like it probably is, but like it looks like almost like wood. Like, and I can tell with this pipe, for example, gets much hotter. Like I barely smoked a little bit out of it, and it's hot. But I smoke out of my Savinelli. This shit does not get hot at all.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Just to chime in while you're commenting on that. I've noticed that as well. If you go with, I don't really have any cheap pipes. I guess these Cobbets would be the cheapest ones I've got. They do get a little warm. But I've also noticed that Peterson that I smoke gets a little bit hot too.
Really?
But this Suge does not get hot.
Not at all.
I mean, you could hold it down here on the metal part, and you're not going to get warm at all. But even the bowl does not get very hot.
That's true.
So that's a good point. I never really thought about that. Continue.
It doesn't really get hot. And the other thing I've noticed is, and this is just a weird thing with me, is I've probably got, I mean, I would say they're not like expensive pipes. I mean, they're maybe, say, $20 to $30 each. Like, I start thinking expensive when you start getting up into, $75, $80, $100 plus. The problem that I have is that with the cheaper pipes, they all kind of look similar. So, I've got, and this was all out of kind of the same batch, so I'll just show you. Right here. They all kind of look the same, right? Other than one's kind of bent, and these two are very similar. One's kind of a darker bowl, one's kind of more of a reddish bowl. And, there's not much difference. So what happens to me is that when I'm smoking them, like, honestly, and this is probably just because I'm an idiot, but I can't remember, like, okay, was that like an English pipe? Is that like an aromatic pipe? Like, what am I smoking out of this? Like, I don't want to write on the pipe or put like a label on it or anything because it'll just melt off. But with my Suge and my Savinelli, and I just did a trade where I bought an estate pipe, by the way. Bought a Savinelli estate pipe from someone. And those, just like, I know without even looking, my Savinelli is for Virginias, my Suge is for English, and boom. You know what I mean? So I feel like those other pipes, you kind of forget what you smoked out of them.
So it's an organizational thing for you.
It's much better organizationally, yeah.
I mean, for me, I kind of know what I've smoked out of my pipes. I've got a bunch of different ones, but I kind of know what I've smoked out of them. But if you smell them, you can tell the difference.
I mean, definitely. Like, I've got one.
Well, for me, it's
my aromatic pipe.
Yeah, you can tell which ones are the aromatics, and I can tell which one is not. But to say I smoked English out of this and I smoked Virginias out of this, I couldn't do that. I'm sure people can. I can't.
Well, I can't, yeah. But, I like to keep it kosher, man, because, you just can't let, the Crips and the Bloods mingle, man, because you know what happens. There's going to be war.
It gets wild. So that's John's question there. We got one here from Speed Demon.
Dude, who's Speed Demon?
He's got a question, and he said,
"Is a real one? Like one that wants an answer?"
Yeah. He says, "Is there a nicotine or taste difference between the morning, afternoon, and evening blends?"
Yes.
That one's going to be more for you because I haven't smoked a nightcap yet.
It's fucking strong.
So there's a big difference.
Massive difference.
So kind of outline those differences for us, if you know.
Yeah. I actually smoked through all my nightcap, and so I need to buy some more. But I wish I had the tin. The tin note's definitely much more pronounced. It's way smokier, definitely way stronger. When you light it, it's definitely got, with the early morning pipe, I never got like any sort of bite at all. And I do have a tend to smoke kind of fast, so if you smoke that nightcap fast, it'll just tear your tongue up. I get it definitely, and it also leaves. It's definitely heavier in body. Like, it'll leave a funk where if I don't brush my teeth before I go to bed, and I wake up in the morning, I'm like, nightcap.
That's kind of
Like,
gross.
I know it is kind of gross. I just said it on air. But, yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely heavier in body. And nicotine-wise, like, I'm a nicotine fucking junkie. And even it, like, makes me feel good. And, I mean, it's not like I'm buzzing off of it. But, like, it definitely is, like, when I smoke a bowl of early morning, like, I'll need to smoke another bowl right after that. Because I'm not, like, satisfied nicotine-wise. But if I smoke a bowl of nightcap, like, I'm like, all right, homie. I'm good.
You know,
there's a substantial difference.
There's a big difference, and it's understandable. I would think, like, you think about it like meals, right? You're not going to have a steak. Well, you could have a steak for breakfast, but
you got steak and eggs, homie.
You're not going to have lasagna for breakfast, right?
No, not really.
You're not going to have like a turkey sandwich for breakfast. You're going to have a bowl of cereal. You're going to have some eggs. You're going to have waffles, pancakes,
right.
Whatever. So it's very different. I would equate it to like the different styles of meals. I think breakfast is usually the lightest meal of the day. At least it is for me. Lunch being a little bit heavier, and then dinner usually being the heaviest. So I think that's a safe way to put it. One thing that I've never really, and I guess I just don't smoke enough to know if I have an issue with that or not, is I don't ever feel like I need to have that nicotine hit.
Oh, I do.
I don't feel like I need to smoke because I never smoked cigarettes.
I did.
I never chewed or anything like that.
I did.
I mean, I in college.
Did you ever do cocaine off somebody's ass?
No, I've never made
I never did that.
But thank you for asking. In college, I smoked like cloves and the stupid shit that kids in college smoke, like BDs and things like that, which I always liked. But I never felt the need to smoke anything. I smoke because I enjoy it, or because I have to do a review.
Or Logan's forcing me to review something, yeah.
But no, I never. If I finish a bowl of this and I packed another one, it's because I enjoyed it and I want to have some more. It's not because I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
So
like,
just to comment on what you were saying.
I mean, I think Rob and I are definitely at different levels in terms of our nicotine enjoyment. Like, I definitely smoke cigars every day. Like, if I don't smoke a cigar, do I definitely want it and need it? I feel like it. But can I also go for, days without it? Of course. Like, I went, fairly recently when I was in India a while back. I think it was just like a trip ago or maybe 2 trips ago. Like, I didn't smoke any on the plane, and those fucking assholes at British Airways lost my goddamn luggage, and I didn't have a cigar for almost a week.
That was 2 trips ago.
That was 2 trips ago, and I was
angry, Logan,
son of a bitch. For
you
like
were angry when you were doing the shows too.
I know. But and I can go without it. Like it hurts, but I'm not to the point where I'm so like addicted, where like I'm waking up in the middle of the night and puffing on a bowl, at midnight. It's not like that.
Just waking up and raging.
Dude, I had a friend and his mom, man, smoked. What was it? It was like Salem Light 100s. So like just gross, bro. But anyways, loved his mom, loved him. He was a good friend. But we go over to his house. His mom would smoke inside, and like I rarely saw her without a cigarette in her mouth. And like we'd spend the night over there when we were younger. And like, dude, you'd get up, like get a midnight snack, or you'd be up late. She would be up, like, I'm serious, like every 4 or 5 hours smoking a cigarette. Just
puffing away.
I'm just like puffing away.
That's nasty.
Dude, that's nasty.
It's funny, we were talking about this, I was herping with some of the guys on Cigar Federation earlier today, and we were talking about how much you smoke, and for me, 3 to 4 cigars a week.
That seems on the high side.
Is about where I'm at. Well, you got to figure, we do 2 shows. So
that's true.
There's 2. But then it's probably gone down a little bit because I've been smoking more of the pipes too. So
this is true.
3 to 4 cigars a week, 3 to 4 to 5 bowls a week. My intake has gone up, but that's about where I am. But it's funny. If on a normal day I'm not going to get up and smoke in the morning, I usually just don't do it unless maybe tomorrow I will because I kind of have tomorrow off. I'm just kind of chilling.
Right.
I have a lot going on, which is beautiful. So I get up, maybe I'll have, maybe tomorrow is the day I smoke a bowl in the morning and I have it with a cup of coffee.
And you post a fancy Instagram picture?
Dude, don't hate. People are liking my photos, dog.
Hey, man, I'm not hating. I'm Rob, you want to know what, man? I'm fucking jealous, dog.
Don't be jealous.
Because no one could take as good a photo as fucking you, and no one takes as long to take a photo as you.
I do take a while to take a picture. Yeah.
I know you do, man. You reposition that pipe tobacco so it's just spread eagle or whatever it needs to be, so you get a good shot of it.
Don't you wait until IPCPR this year? It's gonna be real, dude.
I'm gonna have fucking Jared take all the product pictures.
No, I've got an idea for every booth that we go to. We're gonna take one very specific shot of every new cigar, and I'm excited about it, but I don't want to.
Oh, don't spoil it. We don't want anyone to steal our fucking earth-shattering ideas.
But I was talking with some of the guys in SigFed, and speaking of IPCPR and Cigar Safari, which we're giving away a free trip, so get in on that. Cigar Federation.
Download the fucking app, people. I mean, we're giving away a fucking trip. Just download the fucking thing.
On a regular day, I'm not going to roll out of bed and fire up a cigar, but at IPCPR, I have 3 before lunch.
Oh yeah.
And it's like 7 or 8 a day, and it doesn't even feel weird because that's just what I'm.
It's your environment.
I'm immersed in that environment. And the same thing with Cigar Safari. You're gonna see me every morning. I'm gonna be firing up a freaking Tabac Red Eye because I like those with my breakfast. But I've never bought those. I don't store them at home. But in Nicaragua, I like smoking those. Nicaraguan Rob likes to have that with breakfast, but American Rob doesn't. It's weird how your environment, because I'm not around anybody else who smokes, like, ever, unless I go down to the shop, which I don't do as often as I used to. But yeah, it's funny how your environment dictates how much you smoke.
I would agree with that. I mean,
this has anything to do with anything.
Man, Pipe Dummies is just all about expression.
So okay, here's one thing, and I don't know if this was something that you told me about or I picked up from somebody else, but when if I've got a bowl going and I'm talking a lot, sometimes I'll purge it a little bit. I'll blow air through it a little bit, just to keep it lit. Now, is that something that you do when you're done lighting your pipe there?
No.
Or is that like a bad thing, I wonder?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I purge cigars if they get, a little clogged up, or they're over humidified or whatever. I'll do that.
A different reasoning behind it.
Right. But I think I've done it a little bit, like, just to play with it, but I feel like when you're blowing in, like, it kind of unseats the tobacco a little bit. Like, especially when you're down at the bottom, it kind of pushes the tobacco up, and I feel like it fucks up the draw.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. The reason that I do it, I don't blow hard through it, but it's just to keep air flowing through if I'm not taking a puff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that, just like this, you can see just a little bit of smoke comes out. So it's not a lot. But I'm just curious, and if anybody's watching and sees this.
Is that kosher?
Yeah, hit me up on Cigar Federation and let me know if that's something that is worth doing or not. I'm curious. Oh, there's people watching. And there's a ton of comments on SigFed. I was just skipping all those. Apparently the nightcap pairs well with some bourbon. That's something I might have to check out.
It does. It's good tobacco.
Anyway, so what else? You want to talk about anything else?
Nah, fuck them.
Well, we've got some guests coming up.
We do.
And I'll let you talk about this because you set these up. So we've got a special guest from Loudesy next week. So what's that about? And that's the guy I need to email, which I haven't emailed him yet.
I don't know who Loudesy is.
Well, break it down. Tell me what's going on.
You don't know who Loudesy is? Man, you don't know nothing. All right. So basically, what Loudesy is they're a distribution group. So Jonathan's the guy actually coming on. And one of the reasons we're having him on is because he answered my email. So thank you, Jonathan.
Winner.
If truth be told. But no, so what they do is they actually do distribution for a lot of different actual pipe things. I mean, they do Savinelli pipe, Rossi pipes, corn and deal pipe tobacco, GLPs pipe tobacco. So they're kind of a distribution company. So as far as I know, I don't think, and I could be totally wrong about this, so I probably am wrong, but they aren't like a distribution company like Drew Estate, for example, that distributes like Hoya de Nicaragua, but also has their own brand. They just distribute. That's it.
They're just straight distributors.
I think. I don't think they have their own brand of stuff, but I could be way wrong.
So are we going to do like some giveaways or anything?
I don't know. You got to fucking email the guy, man.
That's a good point.
That's why I've emailed you 3 fucking times about you, ass.
Well, to be fair, and in my defense, because I always have an excuse, for the last 3 weeks we've been unable to get anyone other than myself and John on a hangout because of Google issues.
Well, and me too.
Yeah. Well, it even takes some work to get you on.
Well, that's true. It did.
I mean, God forbid trying to get somebody else on. So it's like, yeah, I didn't want to email the guy and say, hey, yeah, we're doing the show, but I'm not sure how I can get you to log in, so we'll get back to you later. But I'll email him. I'll email him in the morning. So that'll be cool. And then so that's coming up on the April 8th show. And then on April 22nd, we've got Batson Pipes coming on.
Dude, that's gonna be legit.
Now that's the guy that he's with the Southern Fried Pipe thing, and Jonathan knows him and all that. And it's Greg, right? Greg Batson.
I believe so, yeah.
And he makes some legit pipes that are like 7 or 8 bills. So that stuff's legit. Or at least 7 or 8 bills. That's probably the low end.
Dude, this shit's like hella nuts.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. We can talk about some different things. And then after that, that's my mission to find an aromatic that Logan likes. I've got a few here. I think you're going to like that Autumn Evening. That's Silums we got. So that might actually turn out to be a couple of shows because we're going to have a few different that we can talk about. But other than that, I think that's it. We're good to go. Any pipe tobaccos that you're going to be smoking over the weekend that you're excited about?
That's a really great question.
I
don't know, man.
I'll answer for myself.
Please do.
I'm going to check out the Peterson Holiday Blend 2014 that you sent me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas from the Easter Bunny. Ass.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I've got all kinds of stuff here. I mean, it's all stuff that you sent me, too.
I know it.
I mean, we've got some stuff. I've got the new Suge stuff we've got.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely have to smoke that.
The autumn and winter. I got a few things. Ooh, girl. You see that?
Where's that?
That's some of that Stone.
Dude, how did you rip off on that?
Stonehaven from November 6, 2009.
Dude, didn't you say he just has got like an epic stash of pipe tobacco?
This was from I'm not gonna call him out on air. One of our mutual friends. That was recently hanging out with. That smells good. So I think I've got 2 of these little lashes in here. I guess this is about 2 bowls worth. But this stuff's like hard to find, right?
Dude, you can't find that shit anywhere. Like, even on pipes and cigars, if something's out of stock, like the plum pudding, which at pipe cigars, if you're fucking listening, get that fucking pipe tobacco back in stock. That shit is awesome. But you can still order it, even though it's back ordered. Like, this shit is just persona non grata. Like, it's like there, but it doesn't even have a place where you can order it and get it shipped when it's back ordered, because it would be back ordered for the next 100 years. You would never get any.
It's just never gonna happen.
It's just like they basically say on their website is like, once we get it, we email and it sells out like literally in hours. So I've got my email on point. So whenever I get that email, I'm gonna fucking buy a $50 bag.
So you have like a notification set up.
Oh yeah.
I've got some Dunhill English here.
English.
It's English, lovely Potter. So yeah, I've got a few different things to kind of play around with. And I got to finish my my review of the Chupacabras, which it's Culebra from.
No, it's fucking totally Chupacabra.
Viva Republica, and it's the cigars that are twisted together. It's 3 cigars and it's 3 different blends. I thought that it was just one blend, but it's actually 3 different blends. So I've got to smoke all 3 of the legs. So I had to push it back a week, but that'll be out on Monday.
That's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's about it.
That's cool. I mean, damn, man. Oh, man, it looks like this place, Loudesy, actually, under Corning and Deal, they actually have a bunch of bulk pipe tobaccos, too. Like granulated Perique and, stuff like that.
Oh, another one that I want to try is this Go Waith and Hogarth Bob's Chocolate Flip.
I keep hearing about that.
I'm curious about it. This is one of the ones I'm going to send you. It's an aromatic, but there's definitely a latakia in there. You can smell it.
Let me just state for the record here, and in case anybody's even watching or gives a shit. Rob's been swearing up and down that he's going to send me this whole fucking aromatic shit, and I keep hearing about Bob's Chocolate Flake and Sillums and all this shit, and the time that Rob has promised to send me shit, I think I've actually sent Rob 2 packages. That one of them was for the show, so I could make sure we were on point, and then the other one I think was just like unprovoked, or maybe it was I sent them both together. But let me just say I've sent Rob stuff, and I'm still waiting on this infamous or this mystery pipe tobacco aromatics I'm gonna like. And Rob's back there digging it out, trying to show me it's already in the box. He just has to put it in the mail.
It's not already in the box.
Oh, it is not.
No, I've bagged it, but I haven't boxed it. So here's what you're going to get. Cornell and Dial Autumn Evening. We've got that already. I reviewed that. I enjoyed it. I think you're going to like it.
Okay.
Rattray's Bagpiper's Dream. I don't think you'll like this one, but you're going to get it anyway. Lane Bulk BCA. And that is black.
What is it, like Cavendish?
It smells fruity. It is, bear with me here for a moment. What is it? Lane BCA? It's Lane BCA. It's an aromatic. It's all Cavendish.
Logan knows his pipe tobacco, bitches.
Yeah, I mean, that is black. You're going to get the Hogarth Bob's Chocolate Flake. That's here.
Keep hearing about that.
You're going to get some Cornell and Dial Crooner. That's got the weird little green flakes in it.
Green flakes?
Yeah, it's got some... Can you see the green leaves in there?
A little bit, yeah.
Like reefer in there.
Is this like unfermented tobacco?
It is... I don't know. It's a good question. You're asking good questions. Let me see. Crooner. It is... It's all burley. That's all I know.
Okay.
It's specially cut cube burley and deer tongue. Oh, deer
tongue?
Deer. Like reindeer tongue.
Right.
Deer tongue.
Like for real deer tongue?
One of Bing's friends who blended it with whatever. Sorry, what?
Like real? Like deer tongue?
No, I think no. Look it up.
Just go fuck yourself, Logan.
We're going to do Peterson's Connoisseur's Choice. We're going to do this crazy Sillums expensive shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do Peterson's Perfect Plug. And this is...
I'm pumped for that one.
This isn't an aromatic, but I've got it. It's Home and Hearth White Knight.
Dude, I've been wanting to get a tin of that.
Well, there you go. You're going to get some.
Okay, good.
Eventually.
I won't buy that.
Sometime
this goddamn century, maybe.
Someday I'll send it out to you. So that's all the stuff you're going to get. Yeah, let's just wrap it up because we're just bullshitting now.
I was having a good time chatting with you, Robert.
Well, I'm over it, so let's move on.
You know what? I want to say one thing real quick. Yeah. I got my 66% off wine fridge yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
And let me just say, my pipe tobacco cellar is now a perfect 67 degrees and running like a champ.
That's good.
I know, man.
Does it have your wife's wine in it?
It will. Right now, it will eventually.
The same day I send all this stuff to you.
Well, no, I can't put aromatics in there because I don't want it to stink it up. But all my non-aromatic stuff, like tins of stuff and whatever that I've bought, like so everyone keeps talking about how badass Three Nuns is and all that kind of stuff. So I just said, you know what? I got the tin and I was totally expecting it to be like a recent tin, Dude, it was from like June of 2014. And I'm like, dude, that shit's almost a year old. Fuck it. I'm just not even going to smoke it. I'm just going to throw it in there and just forget about it. And so that's what the plan is that there's two, there's two zones to it. There's a smaller one that's up top, which I'm claiming for the time being, because my wife's obviously living on the edge of glory because she's, you know, the baby and shit. Like, she's about to pop at any moment. So I got to make sure that thing is stocked full of wine at all times. Sorry, Allie, I love you. And one day we'll probably flip-flop.
All right. Well, yeah.
Anyways, we can shut it down now that you're done. You're over the show, Ron.
No, I'm curious to see how that works out for you, because I would like to get a setup like that. It'd be perfect to have out in my office because it's not really climate controlled in here, and it's middle of March and it's already warm in here. Like, I'm warm right now. I wish I had a fan on. So that would be nice to have something in here that's climate controlled. It can go right next to or on top of my beer fridge, and we can call it good.
Dude, you could do it. But you wouldn't really need a big one. Because, I mean, all you're going to store in there is pipe tobacco and stuff that you're going to age for a really long time. So I've got that stuff. And if you guys remember correctly, back in the 1st of February, Logan threw down the challenge to the nothing about how you store your pipe tobacco to age it the best. So we've got tins, mason jars, and bags of Orlick Golden Sliced and McClellan's, Virginia 5100 in there, aging like fucking champs right now.
So in a year, we'll check it out and see what the difference is.
Well, we might do 6 months. I don't know. We'll do it at some point. Maybe the end of this year.
Yeah. Is 6 months really going to do anything, though?
I mean, according to GLPs, I don't know. According to GLPs, he's like, yeah, you know, you do it 6 months, but by a year you'll see it. But then after that, it just kind of like exponentially takes longer, you know? It's like, yeah, you see a big jump in a year, but then the next big jump's like 2 years, the next one's like 4 years, or whatever it is. I don't really know. I've never had any pipe tobacco that long ago. I'm just going off of what GLP said. I don't know who the fuck GLP says. I think he's got a name on a pipe tobacco, and everyone quotes him.
All right. Good enough for me. Okay, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
What if we made this a weekly show?
Well, this is something I was going to talk to you about off air.
Okay, well, let's just talk about it off air then.
Well, with baseball coming up, it's going to be hard for me to do Wednesdays. So it might be in our best interest to find a third host for the show.
What? You're leaving me?
No, not that. It's just we're
getting divorced,
or do it on a weekend or something, because Wednesdays might be tough. We do.
Well, how are you going to do sharing your pairing then?
Well, exactly. It's going to get tough with the scheduling. I can look at it now and schedule it all the way out through September, like we've done with Cigar Chat, and I need to do that. And I'll do that tomorrow, just so we can know weeks where these are weeks where I just can't do it, because I have to be at the ballpark, and my time to be at the ballpark is 5 o'clock. So there's no way I can do this. Like, I can't do it from the parking lot. So
that's very true.
And I can't do it from inside the ballpark.
We learned that lesson.
Yeah, tried that once. They said no.
Yeah, we learned that lesson pretty quick.
Yeah, it was almost a really, really, really big fine. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But on that note, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll have who the hell's coming on in 2 weeks?
You ass, Jonathan from Laudisee.
Yeah,
we'll talk offline, Roberto.
Yeah. I'll email him. We'll make sure that Jonathan shows up. All right, guys. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to Pipe Dummies. We'll be back tomorrow. No Cigar Chat tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
enter the damn Drew Estate contest, you fucks.
Yeah, enter the Drew Estate contest. You can go see it at Facebook or download the app. And tomorrow we've got sharing our pairings, where John and I are going to drink some Japanese whiskeys and just get tore back. So it's going to be fun. I still don't know what I'm
fucked up.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going to smoke yet. We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Later, bitches.
We need like a total backwoods like banjo intro to the show.
Dude, you know I'm going to put on it? Surgeon.
Yeah. We put Dustin on an intro for the shows at IPCPR, and see how well that's gone.
Oh, I didn't know that. When did that happen?
IPCPR, we talked. He's like, yeah, I can record a couple intros, no problem.
I think you probably need to like remind him of that.
Yeah, I'll shoot him an email. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time.
Later.